Ticketmaster is in the hot seat on Capitol Hill today. The Senate Judiciary Committee is holding a hearing looking into the lack of competition in the ticketing industry. You might remember the platform saw massive problems during a pre-sale for Taylor Swift concert tickets in November. Fans were outraged when ticket sales for the general public were canceled. In written testimony, Ticketmaster's parent company, Live Nation, blames bots for the issue. So for more on all this, let's bring in Bob Lefsetz. He's a music industry analyst and author of the Lefsetz Letter, and he joins us now. So, Bob, these criticisms of Ticketmaster are not new. They, of course, exploded during this Taylor Swift Eras Tour pre-sale. We saw similar things with Bruce Springsteen.
Exactly.
It's just been, and there have been many artists, as you know, who've opted as best as they can to not use Ticketmaster, but it's incredibly difficult. So explain to us these points against Ticketmaster, what the Senate is looking for, and is there a way for the public and the artists to not go through Ticketmaster if they want to tour?
Ticketing is opaque, which is the way the industry wants it. The real criminal here, if you want to use that word, is the act itself. Ticketmaster does nothing that the act does not want it to do. Ticketmaster is paid to take the heat. In addition, people believe that all the fees go to Ticketmaster. No, the fees are split between the promoter, the venue, and Ticketmaster. And if you're a superstar act, you might even get a kickback from Ticketmaster. So as far as going around Ticketmaster, the problem is the model is that ticketing companies have exclusive deals with buildings, such that if you want to play that building, you must use that ticketing outlet. The Taylor Swift tour is promoted by AEG, the main competitor to Live Nation, but it must use Ticketmaster in those venues. As far as the so-called debacle, you know, I must admit, even though she wrote a song about me, Taylor Swift just wanted a big number for publicity. Anybody in the business knows to put that number of tickets on sale at one time, you're just asking for problems. Of course, Ticketmaster's hands are not completely clean because they said they could do it, and obviously they couldn't.
I think that's a really interesting point. I mean, remember when the Bruce Springsteen stuff happened, people were like waiting for him to say something, and he never really did.
No.
Taylor Swift eventually sort of tweeted something out, but still, you're right, like these artists are kind of, quiet about this. So our Nicole Killian, who works on Capitol Hill, spoke to Senator Amy Klobuchar, who is on the committee holding the hearing today. Here's how she explained the control that Ticketmaster has in the music industry after it merged with Live Nation. This is what she said.
This has just gotten worse and worse. These two companies were allowed to merge, mega companies, back in 2010 with promises that this would be okay. They have violated the consent decree that they operate under from the Justice Department.
Okay, Bob, I did not know this. Can you share some context, help us understand how this merger came about and the result?
Okay, Washington, D.C. can understand ticketing about as well as it can understand social media. Keep that in mind. So what we had was, yes, Ticketmaster and Live Nation wanted to merge. They allowed that merger. The consent decree had a number of elements. The only thing that they reached was using their muscle to make acts play Ticketmaster buildings, or saying to buildings, hey, if you don't make a deal with Ticketmaster, then you're not going to get Live Nation concerts. And they extended that consent decree. All the complaints that people have about the fees and getting tickets, the consent decree violation has nothing to do with that. Once again, Klobuchar and D.C., they have no idea what's going on. The fans are also at fault here. The fans believe they should be able to sit in the front row for $50 for every concert. They believe they're a fan and they're entitled to a ticket, which is what we had Springsteen. Oh, I've been listening to Springsteen for years. I'm entitled to get a concert ticket. No, you're not entitled to buy a Mercedes-Benz for $10,000. Why should you be
Okay, no one's entitled to have a front row seat, but this dynamic pricing, something about it feels unfair. I mean, if you waited for the ticket and you expect it to be a certain price based on where you're sitting, you don't expect that price to fluctuate.
Okay, this is all driven by scalpers. Because the acts want to look good, okay, they underprice the tickets, and the scalpers get the uplift. The problem with the Live Nation and the Springsteen thing, it was run by algorithm. AEG does it by hand. So therefore, when you have tickets go to $5,000, no one is going to buy $5,000 ticket up in the upper bowl. It was definitely a mistake by Ticketmaster. As far as changing the price, how can you criticize these acts when in so many hotel rooms constantly change prices, airline tickets change prices, and in addition, they get all the revenue, okay? If the tickets are underpriced, they're not going to get the money. Even worse, the acts the fans don't want the tickets tied to them because they want to scalp their own tickets. Mm-hmm. Many people say, oh, buy 4 and I'll sell 2. As I say, no one's hands are clean here.
Yeah, but Bob, as you know, there's been a big shift in the music industry, right? I mean, back in the days when we were growing up, a lot of artists made their money not just through touring, but also through the sales of their records. Right. Obviously now, in the streaming era, most artists who make a lot of money, we're talking in the hundreds of millions of dollars, are making that by touring and going on the road. And of course, the tours themselves have gotten big, right? In the old days, if the Rolling Stones were performing, it was the Rolling Stones, their roadies. Yeah. Now you're talking about dancers, and when Beyonce goes on tour.
If I'm going to pay $1,000 for a ticket, I better get a full service show.
You want a spectacle. But I do wonder, Bob. I mean, at the end of the day, there are fans across the country who say, "Look, I don't deserve to have a ticket, but I'd like to see an artist perform." And even if I'm up in the cheap seats, I don't mind paying $100 for a cheap seat ticket, maybe even $200. But it's when these prices all get out of whack. And I think more importantly, it's when the artists themselves, it's what Anne Marie was saying, the artists themselves who position themselves either as a working class hero or just another person who's just like you, who just happens to be an amazing performer, that leaves a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths.
Well, you got a lot of things going on there, starting with the last point. Yes, in terms of these acts, they're now saying, I want to get the uplift, and they looked bad. Mm-hmm. But in terms of the bands, people don't understand because there's been so much misinformation. If you are a superstar on streaming, you're making a bucket load of money. It's just that all these acts that were supported by record deals from major labels in the past, almost none of them earned royalties. It was only the superstars. They lived off the advances. Okay, we have a change in cars right now, to EVs. Are the gasoline people say, no, I'm entitled to the way things are. I'm not going to say that it's easy. Ticketing is very opaque. In a building like Madison Square Garden, it has like 18,000 seats. When you have the general on sale, there can be fewer than 1,000 seats available because of the credit card sale, pre-sale, because of the fan club pre-sale. I don't want to defend the model, but this is what's going on. No one understands it's what inside. People think, oh, I go to a concert, I can understand a professional business. No, these people have been doing it for decades. The big change has been trying to recover the uplift that has gone to scalpers, both professional scalpers and individual scalping the tickets. But they don't want to price the tickets what they're worth because of their image. As far as blowing back, if anybody's on the internet, I have a profile on the internet. I hear from Taylor Swift fans every day, 10 years later after something I said. And what happens is you have a certain number of haters. They don't understand the issue. If you are in any news forum, don't respond. The story dies. Do you hear people bitching about Springsteen ticket prices today? No. The other thing that people don't realize is you can always get a ticket. Taylor Swift is playing stadiums. Believe me, you stand outside an hour before, you'll have no problem getting a ticket at face value or less. People bought these tickets in the upper deck. They say, oh, I'll be able to scalp the tickets. No one's going to pay $1,000 to sit 1,000 feet away. This is just crazy. Same thing with Springsteen. He's playing arenas. And in some of these markets, tickets are soft. The other thing, there is a mania when they have the on sale. And you go, oh, I'm sitting there and the ticket prices went up to $1,000. I better overpay for tickets. I was talking to a promoter the other day. They are worried about the flex price too high because the momentum might die. Well, on sale, I can't get the ticket. And then they're stuck with all these tickets. The other thing I must mention, which is very important, when you say the ticket price, let's call it $100, all of that money goes to the act. The promoter needs the fee, and the margins are unbelievably small. Apple, the world's largest company, likes to work with 30% margins.
Wow.
In the touring business, it's 5% or less. So the acts are getting all the money, and Ticketmaster's getting all the heat.
Well,
Ticketmaster's got some flaws, but
that's why they get paid the big bucks. Have to sit in front of Congress and explain themselves, and Taylor Swift does not.
Very passionate, Bob.
Yeah, Bob. We appreciate your passion. Let's all go back to lining up for hours overnight.
That's the way
right?
I
We get a good tent and a sleeping bag.
Get some Stones tickets, or Bruce Springsteen tickets by waiting in line and sleeping in a tent with my fellow fans. Bob, thank you.